Former Chief Justice Iftikhar Chaudhry's son-in-law Murtaza Amjad arrested from Dubai in scam pertaining to Eden Housing Society. Information Minister Fawad Chaudhry says ex-CJP's son Arsalan Iftikhar, his daughter and his son-in-law's father also accused in the case. Minister says 200 to 300 families affected by the scam. Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz leader Khwaja Asif says nation faced embarrassment owing to government's foreign policy performance. PMLN leader says Pakistan suffered a setback following India's refusal to hold meeting between foreign ministers of two countries. Khwaja criticizes government for announcement regarding granting citizenship to Afghan refugees and later turning into a proposal. Lahore High Court rejects petition to summon former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and former Punjab Chief Minister Shehbaz Sharif in Model Town case. Court asks former Punjab Inspector General Mushtaq Sukhera to appear before a trial court. Pakistan Awami Tehreek Chief Tahir Al-Qadri announces to challenge the decision. Government takes back plan of leasing Radio Pakistan premises following employees' protest. Minister assures no steps to be taken without taking Radio Pakistan employees on board. Duchess of Sussex Meghan Markle makes first royal solo outing for art exhibition. Exhibition includes ornaments, scanners and images from the Pacific region. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani says Iran wants no war, sanctions, threats or bullying. Rouhani criticizes Washington's approach towards Tehran is doomed to failure. Russian military tests newly deployed coastal defense system in Arctic. Ministry says launches are part of tactical drill by North Navy fleet at Russia's Arctic islands. Mexico City marks 50th anniversary of 1968 Olympics with panel discussion. Discussion was aimed at talking about various challenges that athletes of color face. Bollywood actress appointed as brand ambassador for National Park in Mumbai, Raveena Tandon urges local to contribute to make National Park more green and clean.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. You're watching 92 News HDUK. My name is Muhammad Yasir Rizwan.
And my name is Faik Mahmood. Starting off with the top story today, former Chief Justice of Pakistan Iftikhar Muhammad Chaudhry's son-in-law Murtaza has been arrested from Dubai in a scam pertaining to Eden Housing, the Information Minister Fawad Chaudhry said on Wednesday.
The Information Minister said the Prime Minister Imran Khan has summoned a final report in the case within 24 hours. More in this report.
The former CJP's son-in-law has been arrested in connection to a scam pertaining to a private housing scheme, Eden Housing. Information Minister Fawad Chaudhry said while speaking to the media in Islamabad, "We have made a big breakthrough in the Eden Housing scam," he asserted, while adding that Murtaza was arrested by Federal Investigation Agency officials from Dubai and that the National Accountability Bureau has issued his arrest warrants.
दुबई में मुर्तज़ा जो दामाद हैं साबिक़ चीफ जस्टिस इफ्तिखार चौधरी के, उनको अब से कुछ देर कबल गिरफ़्तार कर लिया गया है और ये गिरफ़्तारी FIA ने की है। नैब ने इनका वारंट जारी किया था और ईडन हाउसिंग सोसाइटी का जो मुकदमा है उसमें एक बड़ा ब्रेक थ्रू आज पाकिस्तान को मिला है।
The information minister further claimed that the father-in-law of the ex-CJP's daughter is the owner of the housing scheme, which is why Iftikhar Chaudhry has heard the cases pertaining to the housing scheme himself and granted them relief. 200 to 300 families were affected by the scam and thousands of people invested their hard-earned money in it but were cheated of it, Chaudhry added.
इफ्तिखार चौधरी साहब ने जो उस वक्त के चीफ जस्टिस थे, उन्होंने ये हैरानकुन फैसला किया। ईडन वाले उनके समधी थे, उनकी जो बेटी हैं, उनकी जो साहिबजादी हैं, उनकी शायद शादी हुई थी ईडन के मालिक के साथ। उन्होंने खुद ही सुप्रीम कोर्ट में उनका केस अपने पास लगाया, उनको रिलीफ दिया गया।
Chaudhry further said the ex-CJP's son Arslan Iftikhar, his daughter and his son-in-law father are also accused in the case, vowing that all accused in the case will be arrested soon. The information minister said the Prime Minister Imran Khan has summoned a final report in the case within 24 hours.
Khwaja Mohammad Asif of Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz and Shiri Mazari of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf exchanged hot words in the National Assembly on Wednesday. Let's have a look at it.
Former Federal Minister Khwaja Asif took exception to a statement by the Prime Minister indicating that the government was considering granting citizenship to illegal aliens in the country.
ऐलान कर दिया गया, उसके बाद क्या नहीं तजवीज़ है। जब देखा कि एक इत्तेहादी जो है वो उस पर नाराज हो रहा है तो उसके ऊपर उसको तजवीज़ का नाम दे दिया गया। कता नजर इस बात से कि Citizenship Act क्या कहता है।
Shiri Mazari, the Federal Minister for Human Rights, said the criticism lacked justification.
आज तक हमारी कोई क्लैरिटी नहीं है अफगान रेफ्यूजी पॉलिसी पे, क्योंकि 8 एग्रीमेंट्स में हमने 7-8 यू टर्न्स लिए पिछली हुकूमतों ने। आई थिंक ये हमें बताना पड़ेगा।
Rising in his seat, Khwaja Asif said the PTI government had no clear foreign policy. He said foreign policy statement issued so far lacked in consistency and maturity.
जो कारकर्दगी पिछले 1 माह में खारजा पॉलिसी के महाज पे मौजूदा हुकूमत की रही है, सवाए पाकिस्तान को खिफ़त उठाने की और पिछले महीने 1.5 महीने में खारजा पॉलिसी के महाज पे कुछ नहीं मिला।
Mazari said it was ironical that the people like Khwaja Asif should raise such objections. She said the PMLN government had not had a foreign minister for years at end.
अब ख्वाजा आसिफ को ख्याल आया था कि जी फॉरेन पॉलिसी को डिबेट किया जाए नेशनल असेंबली में। 5 साल तक तो वो इससे घबराते रहे, डरते रहे, बिकॉज उनकी पॉलिसी कोई थी नहीं।
After Asif mentioned Humudur Rahman Commission report in his speech to embarrass Finance Minister Asad Umar, Mazari asked why he was taunting his party colleague, the former Sindh governor, who is Asad's brother. Asif also hit out at the government's Kashmir policy.
मैं आपके तवस्सुत से हुकूमत को कहूँगा कि हिंदुस्तान के साथ तल्लुकात के शौक में वहाँ पे कश्मीरियों का ना भूलें। कश्मीर के हल के बगैर हिंदुस्तान के साथ जो है नॉर्मलाइजेशन ऑफ रिलेशनशिप जो है वो उसका तसव्वुर भी नहीं किया जा सकता।
Mazari responded that the Kashmir issue had received scant attention during the PMLN tenure.
हिस्ट्री में है कि पाकिस्तानी प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफिशियली जाए हिंदुस्तान और वो APHC के डेलीगेशन को ना मिले। इंडियन बिजनेसमैन के लिए टाइम था उनके पास, लेकिन APHC के डेलीगेशन को वो नहीं मिले।
Khwaja Asif said the government's claim about US Secretary of State's visit had been exposed within 24 hours. He said the government had to face embarrassment after it offered talks to India. He said there was a need for building small dams as well as large dams.
Lahore High Court on Wednesday turned down a petition to summon former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and former Punjab Chief Minister Shehbaz Sharif in the prosecution of 2014 Model Town violence case. Former Punjab Police Chief Mushtaq Sukhera was ordered to appear before the trial court. More in this report.
14 people were killed and 100 others injured in a police action against Pakistan Awami Tehreek workers on June 17, 2014. Jawad Hamid, a Minhajul Quran International member, had filed a petition requesting the court to summon 12 individuals. The list included former Punjab Law Minister Rana Sanaullah and former Federal Minister Khaja Saad Rafiq. Soon after the verdict was announced, PAT Chief Tahir al-Qadri said it would be challenged in the Supreme Court. On December 5, 2017, the Punjab government had released the Justice Bakir Najfi Commission report indicating an attempt covered by Punjab police regarding who gave the orders to open fire.
The Federal Investigation Agency on Wednesday submitted a report pertaining to implementation of the Asghar Khan case verdict to the Supreme Court. The report said that the politicians alleged to have received illegal campaign donations had denied taking any money. The report said was trying to collect evidence in support of the allegations.
The Federal Investigation Agency has submitted a report on the implementation of Asghar Khan case verdict. The report says the politicians had all denied taking any money for the 1990 election campaigns. The agency was trying to dig up evidences to prove the charges, the report said. It was also stated in the report that FIA Director General was in contact with high officials in Ministry of Defense, adding that other institutions were also cooperating in this matter. FIA, in its report, vowed to conduct a transparent and neutral investigation to probe into the allegations.
India has postponed inspection of its two hydropower projects, 1000 megawatts Pakal Dul and 48 megawatts Lower Kalnal, by Pakistani experts on the pretext of some local issues. Sources see it as a possible impact of the recent cancellation of talks between the foreign ministers of the two countries on the sidelines of United Nations General Assembly session in New York.
A 9-member team led by Indian Commissioner for Indus Water Pradeep Kumar Saxena had visited Lahore in late August and held talks for 2 days with their Pakistani counterparts on water disputes on the platform of the Pakistan-India Permanent Commission for Indus Water. During the talks, Pakistan's Commissioner for Indus Water Syed Muhammad Meher Ali Shah raised the objections, possible solutions to the problems, India's previous replies, feedbacks, etc. on the designs of Pakal Dul and Lower Kalnal projects. Finally, India agreed to get the sites of its two projects at the Chenab Basin inspected by Pakistani experts by the end of this month. It also assured Pakistan of taking up its objections and concerns over the two projects seriously by resolving them amicably in the light of technical memorandums to be prepared and exchanged by the two countries at the next meeting of the Pakistan-India PCIW to be held in New Delhi. Commissioners for Indus Water Meher Ali Shah confirmed the development and expressed disappointment over the postponement of the inspection of the projects by Pakistani experts.
The Frontier Corps on Baluchistan on Wednesday recovered a cache of arms and ammunition from Suraf area near Kahan. A statement issued by the Inter-Services Public Relations said, according to the statement, arms and ammunition were recovered during intelligence-based operations in the area. The recovered ammunition include anti-tank mines, explosives and mortar rounds. The Army's media wing added, earlier this year, FC Baluchistan had recovered a cache of arms and ammunition in Dera Bhukti.
The National Electric Power Regulatory Authority on Wednesday approved a Rs 1.16% per unit raise in the electricity prices.
The raise was approved on a petition filed by the Central Power Purchasing Agency under Fuel Adjustment Head for August. The CPPA had initially requested a Rs 1.50 hike. The new tariffs will be applicable to all power distribution companies except for the K Electric. On Tuesday, the Economic Coordination Committee had deferred a decision on a revision in electricity prices till its next meeting. The ECC has also directed the NEPRA and the Power Division to make policy recommendations for the next 3 to 5 years.
More news stories lined up right after a short break.
Stay with us. British opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn said Labour would vote against a Brexit deal based on Theresa May's proposal, the strongest warning yet to a Prime Minister whose plan to leave the European Union is hanging by a thread.
On the final day of his party's annual conference, Corbyn sought to show that his party was ready to take over the reins of power, setting out in the most details yet his vision to transform the country, including promising new jobs for a green revolution.
Let me say to the country, as it stands, Labour will vote against the Chequers plan or whatever is left of it, and oppose leaving the EU with no deal. And it is inconceivable that we should crash out of Europe with no deal. It would be a national disaster. That is why, if Parliament votes down a Tory deal, or the government fails to reach any deal at all, we would press for a general election.
Corbyn also made a direct bid for the support of those outside the British capital who voted to exit the EU, often in frustration at feeling left behind by a London-based elite, saying Labour was ready to take over the torture Brexit talks.
I know that sounds ambitious, and it is, and will be delivered with the most far-reaching programme of investment and transformation in decades. Labour will kickstart a green jobs revolution that will help tackle climate change, provide sustainable energy for the future, and create skilled jobs in every nation and region of this country.
Addressing foreign policy, Corbyn took aim at US President Donald Trump and his pursuit of aggressive nationalism and trade wars, while also confirming that the UK would recognize Palestinian state if a Corbyn-led Labour Party were voted into power.
The British public's attitude towards Brexit remained heavily divided as the main opposition Labour Party voted overwhelmingly on Tuesday for the opinion of a second referendum to remain on the table. More in this report.
The UK is due to leave the European Union in March 2019, but huge concern regarding the country's uncertain political and economic future remain, following a series of government resignations and widespread criticism of the plan put forward by Prime Minister Theresa May.
Sad life, if it's Brexit, totally, because I think we need to be part of a European community in terms of culture, for example. We have to learn from each other.
Meanwhile, supporters of Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party, which is currently in the middle of an annual party conference in Liverpool, believe Britain staying in the European Union will be the best choice for their country. It will be sad life if it's Brexit, totally, because I think we need to be part of a European community in terms of culture. For example, we have to learn from each other, said Marcus, a Labour Party supporter.
I'm hoping to not have to imagine a life after Brexit because as a new mum I'm really hoping that Britain can come together and decide to stay in the European Union, because I think that that's the best thing for our country and the best thing for all of our children as well.
Many are worried about what the future could hold for later generations after Brexit, including new mother Martha. I'm hoping to not have to imagine life after Brexit because as a new mum, I'm really hoping that Britain can come together and decide to stay in European Union, because I think that's the best choice of our country and the best thing for all of our children as well, she said.
You know, I think there is a negotiation going on. There's a lot of project fear. People are being made to think that there's something terrible's going to happen. The sky will fall in, the end of the world if we don't have a deal. But there are rules that exist in the world for trade. You know, nobody is going to walk away from trading with.
However, while the prospect of Brexit has been devised, many are taking a more circumspect view and believe the UK can still flourish after exiting the European Union.
British Prime Minister Theresa May held a bilateral meeting with the Iranian President Hassan Rouhani at the United Nations General Assembly in New York on Tuesday, during which she reportedly intended to lobby for detained British-Iranian aid worker Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe.
A senior British official said that the meeting with Rouhani would discuss consular cases, including that of Zaghari-Ratcliffe, who has been sentenced to 5 years jail in Iran. Britain is seeking the release of Zaghari-Ratcliffe, a project manager with the Thomson Reuters Foundation, who was arrested in April 2016 at a Tehran airport as she headed back to Britain with her daughter after a family visit. She was convicted of plotting to overthrow Iran's clerical establishment, a charge denied by her family and the foundation, a charity organization that operates independently of Thomson Reuters and Reuters News. May held separate meetings with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan.
2 people were injured in a clash between 2 groups of students at a school in Sheffield in South Yorkshire. The school was closed down after the clash. Eyewitnesses said around 150 students and their parents were involved in the brawl. A heavy police contingent was sent to the site and dispersed the students. No arrests have been made. 2 people were slightly injured in the clash. They were provided first aid on the spot.
Westminster Abbey, the site of royal coronation, weddings, burials and resting place for the famous Britons, on Wednesday unveiled a new stained glass window honouring Queen Elizabeth, which artist David Hockney designed on an iPad.
The Queen's window transforms a previously plain glass windows into a colorful rural scene inspired by Hockney's native Yorkshire and featuring hawthorn blossom. The 81-year-old Hockney, known for his brightly colored pop artwork, depictions of swimming pools, portraits and landscapes, was tasked with designing something symbolic or representational of the subject.
Landscape is nature. I mean, the previous window put up in here was also nature, lilies. This was nature. I chose the hawthorn, which is the 4 days of the moment when champagne looks as though it's been poured over all the bushes.
The subject reflects the Queen as a country woman and her widespread delight in and yearning in for the countryside, the Abbey said in a statement. At the unveiling, Hockney said he had worked on an iPad for the design, in which he used shades of red, pink, orange, yellow, blue and green.
It's a rather celebratory thing, and so the height of the spring and summer.
The iPad is backlit like a window, so I mean it's natural things to use actually because it's blacklit, Hockney said, adding that he hoped Queen Elizabeth would like it. He said it was his first stained glass work.
Meghan Markle attended the opening of London's new Oceania exhibition evening in what was her first royal solo outing since marrying Britain's Prince Harry in May.
Meghan, 37, who is officially known as Duchess of Sussex, visited the Royal Academy of Arts where some 200 works were on display. The exhibition includes ornaments, canvas and images from Pacific region which Meghan will visit with Harry on their first overseas tour next month. The exhibition, which includes items from Melanesia, Micronesia, Polynesia and New Zealand, marks 250 years since British explorer James Cook set off abroad the HMS Endeavour for the South Pacific. Meghan viewed artifacts which span 500 years and are displayed according to the exhibition's voyaging place, making her encounter themes.
A beluga whale spotted in London's River Thames surfaced again on Wednesday, hundreds of miles from its normal Arctic habitat.
The white cetacean, which feeds on fish, squids and crabs, was first spotted on Tuesday and surfaced near Gravesend, Kent on the southern side of Estuary, television footage showed.
It's amazing. We're literally 10 minutes away from our home and we can see a beluga whale. You know, we couldn't miss it. You don't see this every day, especially in Gravesend.
Something that we ever see in anywhere near places like this, so it's usually found in the Arctic, so obviously really interesting to see something so close to us.
Belugas, which can grow up to 18 feet long, spend most of their time off the coast of Alaska, Canada and Russia, though they often travel great distances in search of food.
A Potawari poetry recitation was held at Community Center in Berry. A large number of people from the Pakistani and Kashmiri communities attended this session. For more on this, have a look at this report made by Raja Vajah. Raja Abid from Pakistan and Raja Abu Zar, a local talent, entertained the audience. The organizer said the purpose of such events was to familiarize the youth with their culture.
Youngest सारे भतीजे बेटे पब्बा क्लबां ने रोक करने से आजकल वो सारे इस माहौल में रची बसी गए और कोशिश करने पे कि सफल मलूक सुना, पटवारी शेर सुना और कोई पटवारी गीत सुना, ये असा की मतलब है कि ज़्यादातर असा ने हौसला अफजाई होने के जेडे बच्चे इस फील्ड में ज़्यादा नौजवान हंसने पे
आज ना फंक्शन जी प्योरली सारा पटवारी प्रोग्राम है ते कल्चरली प्रोग्राम आ प्रदेश इस वास्ते जरूरी है कि साडी जेडी नवी जनरेशन है उन्हां की अवेयर करने वास्ते
सारा एक सकाफती प्रोग्राम है जेडी साडी पटवार कश्मीर दी सांझी सकाफत है उसकी असां जिंदा रखने वास्ते इकट्ठे होए हां।
असां ते अपनी तरफों मशकूर हैं राजा आबिद साहब ने जिन्होंने 42 साल तजुर्बा इस वन विच और पटवारी शेरखानी की इन जदीद रंग दिते तो वक्तन फ़क्तन अपने मसरूफियात जो वक्त करने तो इतना प्रदेश अच्छी दसने असें बचपन यादां दसने।
माँ बोली जो होती है उसको बोलने वाले भी होते हैं, जिसमें राजा आबिद आफमान करा बहुत पुराने शेर ख्वां भी हैं और शायर भी हैं।
Pakistani poet Raja Abid on the occasion praised the organizers for introducing Pakistan's culture abroad.
More news stories lined up right after a short break.
Stay with us. Rosma Mansoor, the wife of former Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak, arrived on Wednesday at the country's anti-graft agency for a second round of questioning over a corruption probe at the state fund 1MDB.
Her questioning comes amid indication that more charges could be filed in the investigation into how billions of dollars went missing from Malaysia Development Berhad. Najib, who was ousted in a general election in May, has already been charged with money laundering, abuse of power and criminal breach of trust. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges and has consistently denied wrongdoing. Rosma arrived at the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission headquarters around 2, flanked by her lawyers and looking solemn. Rosma, 66, has long been in the public eye for flaunting a range of Hermes Birkin handbags and showy jewelry, and her spending thousands of dollars in shopping sprees around the world. Her penchant for designer goods has raised eyebrows in Malaysia, with many asking how she was being able to afford the luxury items on her husband's government salary.
Russian military have deployed Bastion coastal defense system at Khyber Islands and Laptev Sea in the Arctic Ocean. A video released by the country's defense ministry showed multiple launches of the supersonic anti-ship Onyx missiles. The ministry said the launches were a part of tactical drills by the North Navy fleet at Russia's Arctic island. Russia has early deployed Rubach coastal defense system at Kotelny Island. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan met with the various leaders in New York on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly. Erdogan met with European leaders including British Prime Minister Theresa May, French President Emmanuel Macron and Greek Prime Minister Alex Tsipras, as well as Iranian President Hassan Rouhani. Erdogan will fly to Germany after his trip to the United States to meet German Chancellor Angela Merkel.
Iranian President Hassan Rouhani criticized Washington for its hostile policy towards his country and said the US approach was doomed to failure.
Rouhani, in a speech to the United Nations General Assembly, said the United States had waged economic war against Iran by reimposing unilateral sanctions which were lifted under the country's 2015 multinational nuclear deal in return for Tehran curbing its nuclear work. US President Donald Trump pulled the United States from the pact in May, and his administration reimposed sanctions on Iran in August. Harsher sanctions on Iran's oil and banking sector are expected in November. Rouhani said, "What Iran says is clear. No war, no sanctions, no threat, no bullying, just acting according to the law and the fulfillment of obligations," and added, "No state and nation can be brought to the negotiating table by force."
And now something about Myanmar. Bangladesh leader accused neighboring Myanmar of finding new excuses to delay the return of more than 700,000 Rohingya who were forced across the border over the past year, and said in an interview late Tuesday that under no circumstances would the refugees remain permanently in her already crowded country.
"I already have 160 million people in my country," Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina said. When asked whether Bangladesh would be willing to walk back its policy against permanent integration, "I can't take any other burden. I can't take it. My country cannot bear."
I have already 160 million people in my country. What is our land boundary? 147,000 square kilometers. 160 million people. I am feeding them. I ensure their education, housing, medication, everything, creating job opportunity. I can't take any other burden. I can't take it. My country cannot bear.
Hasina was speaking to Reuters in New York, where she is attending the annual United Nations meeting of world leaders. The Prime Minister, who faces a national election in December, said she doesn't want to pick a fight with Myanmar over the refugees. But she suggested patience is growing thin with Myanmar's leaders. Nobel Peace Prize winner Aung San Suu Kyi and its military that she said wields and the main power there.
She seems to be a little reluctant about it.
About taking the...
about the refugee or what is happening in her country. Well, I can understand the reason, because you know in Myanmar military is all in all power. Actually power lies with the military. They are the main powerful. They decide everything. They act accordingly. So I don't think she has much to do, but she could have raised this issue because international community, they wanted that she should act, and she had good chance. Through this issue, she could have, hold his power more strongly.
Hasina has previously called on the international community to pressure Myanmar to implement the deal. Calls to Myanmar's government spokesman, Zair Hati, went unanswered. He said recently that he will no longer answer media questions by phone, but will answer questions at a bi-weekly press conference.
Bill Cosby was marched out of the court in handcuffs on Tuesday after being sentenced to between 3 and 10 years in prison for sexual assault, capping the downfall of the once beloved comedian known as America's Dad.
Cosby, 81, was found guilty in April of 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault for the drugging and sexual assault of his one-time friend Andrea Constant, a former Temple University administrator, at his Philadelphia home in 2004. The sentence ensured that Cosby will spend no less than 3 years in a Pennsylvania prison before he becomes eligible for supervised release, though he could end up staying behind bars for as much as a decade. Montgomery County Court of Common Pleas Judge Stephen O'Neill ordered Cosby, who had been out on bail since his conviction, to be jailed immediately. He was escorted out a back door of the courtroom with his hands and feet shackled and driven away in a black sport utility vehicle. Minutes earlier, Constance left court with her arm folded, a smile spreading across her face as other women who have accused Cosby came to hug her. O'Neill was fined Cosby $25,000 and ordered him to pay the cost of the prosecution, calling Cosby's crime very serious.
More news stories lined up right after a short break.
Stay with us.
Bollywood actress Shraddha Kapoor on Tuesday began shooting for her upcoming Hindi biopic film Saina in showbiz capital Mumbai. Kapoor said she was lucky to do this film and to meet with Nehal's parents.
Saina is based on the life of India's Olympic medalist shuttler Saina Nehwal. The film is being directed by the Amol Gupta and produced by Bhushan Kumar.
We were all eagerly waiting when will it go on floors, and now finally it's happening, so it feels really, really good. I feel very lucky to be a part of this group over here.
Kapoor 31 said she was lucky to do this film and to meet with Nehwal's parents. For months, Kapoor has been trying to step into shoes of the badminton player. During this process, the actress met Saina several times and learned her mannerism and her sport.
मैं congratulate करता हूँ इस टीम को कि श्रद्धा जी अगर एक भी साइना पैदा कर दे रही हैं भारतवर्ष में, बहुत बड़ा काम होगा। और मुझे लगता है जिस कठिनाइयों से हमने कार्य किया उस एक बच्ची को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए, ये हमारा जो ग्रुप है जिसको सो कॉल्ड मूवी ग्रुप कह रहे हैं आप, उन्होंने भी उतनी ही मेहनत की है और वो उतने ही एंथुजियास्ट हैं और वो पूरी कोशिश करेंगे कि उससे हमारे बच्चे बच्चियां इंस्पायर हों, वो खेलें, बैडमिंटन नहीं कोई और भी गेम खेलें और एक साइना बन के दिखाएं।
The release date of the film has not been officially announced yet.
Bollywood actress Raveena Tandon was appointed as the brand ambassador of National Park in western Mumbai city.
The actress, who was last seen in Mathur, urged locals to contribute to make the national park more green and clean. Spread across 103 square kilometers, the national park is the biggest in the heart of the metropolitan city. The region also comprises monuments, Kanheri caves carved from basalt rock, which dates back to the 10th century.
That's all from the news studio. For more details, you can visit our website 92NewsHDUK.
Keep watching 92 News HD UK.